Okay, obviously, great opportunity at our place, division opponent, second time around seeing this team, and like we've talked about all week, we have to go play our best football, have to do all those things in a game as an offense, defense, special teams that give you a chance. So have worked very hard this week and put in the work, and then Sunday we get to go do it in front of our fans, and that's the exciting part for us. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Denzel, did he just come down with this illness today?
Yeah, that was today, so I don't really have an update just yet.
With the week, was that today as well?
Yeah, just felt something early in practice, so did not finish.
You know, and if Alex will go on IR?
I do not believe we'll put him on IR.
If it's not Denzel, then Don Jones.
Yes.
Be the guy. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's played some meaningful snaps for us. We trust a lot of these young players and certainly would put him in that category. Dom is a guy that goes out, knows what to do, plays to his strengths, his physicality, his length.
Tyson, how have you seen him? Obviously, but if Denzel can't play, Tyson becomes the most experienced guy back there. Just how have you seen him kind of settle in over the last few weeks since he's been?
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with Tyson, both on and off the field, just how he goes about his business, how he works, how he fits in with his football team off the field. And then on the field, I just think he's played so physical, plays the run game, has made plays in the back end with the ball in the air. So I've been very impressed with Tyson.
Malik can't play. Mike, I think, only played 3 defensive snaps last game. Are you guys going to up his workload potentially?
Yeah, he's certainly doing better and better every single week, every day. So he's ready for a bigger workload for sure.
Can you just talk about how well Malik has been playing for you guys this season?
Yeah, Malik's obviously, I think, playing it at an extremely high level. Big part of our success up front, both in the run game and in the pass game. Mary Kay, just how disruptive he can be, defeating blocks one-on-one. I think he runs games really, really well with all of our guys. So he's been a extremely productive player for us.
How much does that, Malik can't go, how much more does that put more on his plate?
Well, I'm not ruling Malik out just yet. So hopefully, yes. But in that scenario, we trust our guys to step up if they get a bigger share of reps and those type of things. But Mason similarly has done a very good job in a bunch of different areas, and I think it's probably no surprise that he's got a guy like Malik that he can watch work at his craft every single day.
Following up on that with Mason, obviously a lot of people just look at the raw stats, specifically sacks when they're looking at defensive linemen. What have you seen out of him, maybe beyond those numbers that show the progress he's making
I don't know that anybody is only looking at sacks. If they are, they're not looking at the whole picture when it comes to defensive line play. I know around the league the importance is placed on pressures and is placed on their ability to affect the quarterback. And obviously when they result in sacks, that's ideal. But the ability to affect the quarterback is the most important thing that a defensive lineman can do.
Just over the last 3 games, it really seems like the Ravens defense has just come alive, and the numbers are just off the charts. So just what kind of challenges are they presenting with the way they've been playing?
Yeah, they're playing at a high level. Mary Kay, they've played really well, like you mentioned, but versus some tough opponents, some good offenses. They've played the run and the pass well. Good players throughout all 3 levels of the defense. I think they're doing a nice job.
Zach Orr talked about they placed an emphasis on batting balls recently, and I think they had 12 or 13.
I think 5 in the last game.
Total pass defense. Just how do you combat that as an offensive, whether you're Dylan or the offensive line, how do you combat that?
Well, I think philosophically there's different beliefs in how you rush the passer. Ask Coach Schwartz about, if you want them batting a bunch of balls or you want them rushing the passer. So there's a give and take. We have Shelby, obviously, who's a master at it. So there's a way to rush the passer and have that innate sense of when to get your hand up to match the quarterback's hand. So been around a lot of guys that do it really well. Certainly they have a group that's very aware, both at the defensive line level and at linebacker and safety level, ball aware, really good ball skills throughout the defense.
a lot of games this year where it's a one-score game, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, and unfortunately it just kind of unravels for you down the stretch. First Baltimore game is a prime example of that.
Yep.
What's the teaching lesson there to your team, and just how do you get these games across the finish line so they don't fall apart later?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 60-minute football game, so you have to have the mentality that you have to play your best both early and late. You're right. In the last game, we did not play well in any facet, especially late, and that's a huge point of emphasis, is playing as a team, and our offense and our defense and our special teams feeding off of each other and playing complementary ball. It gives you a chance in those games.
We were talking to Deuce about Quinshawn and the patience that he's shown. Is that something you guys really identified before when he was coming out in the draft, and how have you seen it shown up so far?
Yeah, I think patience for a runner is so important, but I think it's also a bit dependent on scheme. There's certain schemes that are slower developing, quote unquote, where you have to let the blocking scheme develop. There's certain schemes where you're really on the move and you have a read in the zone game, if you will. So I think it's the ability for runners to have the patience when needed, have the burst when needed, burst through the hole and not to the hole type of idea in a lot of the zone running game, and then just being true to your read in some of the other gap scheme runs.
Lamar is suffering from a little bit of a knee injury this week. Does that change anything in your game plan, your strategy, or anything like that?
No, obviously a great player, Mary Kay, that we understand all the different ways that he can make life hard on a defense, both from the pocket making throws and out of the pocket making throws.
Tommy was talking about that 4th and 1. And yesterday he told us he wished he would have run the ball. When you guys are going back through that stuff, is it hard to balance sometimes, like, hey, this was a good call that didn't work, versus we should have called something different here? Yes.
I mean, it's the classic process over results. Sometimes you have a call that maybe wasn't a very good call and it works, and then everybody say, hey, great call, and sometimes a player goes and makes a great play, and trying to separate what your process was from the results. So the defense is going to win reps on given plays. It's just it's how it works. Now you hope on that rep that it turns into, sometimes it's 1st and 10 and you were looking to get this coverage, you didn't get that. Well, quarterback had to get out of the pocket and throw an incompletion, and it's 2nd and 10, and that's not the ideal. That's not what we wanted, but you got to tip your cap and say, okay, defense made a good call there. So there's so many times throughout that game and throughout every game and throughout every play call that you're just trying to think about the players and less so about the plays, and then also think about your process that got you to those plays and got you to putting the game plan together.
That you guys made some tweaks to, like the coverage teams during the game, but did you do anything else this week to try to shore up specialty?
Yeah, we've looked at everything, Mary Kay. That's certainly a focus for us, is making sure we're putting guys in the right position. So certainly potential to move some guys around.
2 weeks post the bye, has anything changed with Shador's practice reps or his routine at all?
No, he's doing a really nice job, including just now coming off the field with the red zone drill that we did. So continues to work very hard, doing a nice job in meetings, doing a good job in the field.
Alluded to the red zone drill. Is it like the post-practice with
Yes.
the developmental guys? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess, have you always done that in years past?
No.
Okay, so is that kind of unique to a team that has like 14 rookies? Or
For sure, yeah. I mean, going back to the spring, we've done a lot of things that we really hadn't done before because you have so many rookies. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks. You're trying to maximize every minute you have out there. So certainly throughout this season, we've tried to be extremely intentional about development of our players. We've done individual periods on Mondays and Saturdays, which we haven't done before, for players that didn't play in the game. Just trying to add up all those individual periods, all those minutes of development with their coaches. I think it's just important with young players, and so you're not just assuming that they're getting better by sitting in the meeting room. You want to give them physical reps as well.
For you, when you're not calling the plays, is the actual practice different?
No, I would not say practice is much different. Over the years, there's been practices where I don't radio the plays into the quarterback, so that's nothing different.
Sean, is good inside, obviously, finding those little seams, and just as good in space. How unique is that for a young player to have that kind of balance?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty unique. I think a lot of runners, Tom, over the years have certain schemes that they really like and want to get back to. I think of Adrian Peterson when I think about some of the things that Adrian, like give me this again, and runners like to see the same scheme, and that helps them as the game goes on. I think Q definitely has run schemes that he likes a lot, but I don't think there's limitations in any way to the type of scheme that you run with him. So to your point, whether it's a inside zone or a wide zone or a gap scheme or a toss scheme, I think he's has the ability to run all of those, and as a young player, I think is open to running all of those. But as he gets more reps and we get more reps around him, you certainly find the run schemes that he really wants to lean into, and Tommy and the staff have done a nice job already of identifying those.
A major evolution, Kevin, in the running game in your time in the league, where it used to be they want guys to smash it up into the hole, and now you, like with Q, you give them the option of kind of like reading it and then blasting.
Yeah, I think the game has changed in so many ways, and I think the run schemes have evolved. I think so much of the motion in the run game has changed up how defenses are fitting runs. Certainly the personnel groups have changed. There were years where you'd get really big and bring everybody in. There were years where you'd spread everybody out, and I think that's probably more true now, spreading people out, than it was previously. But even having said that, there's a lot of teams that believe in bringing their receivers in tight to block all the safeties that you see down, and then you watch some teams that stay in a 2-by-2 and don't move and don't motion anybody and have success that way. So I think the run game evolution has been similar to the evolution of all offensive football, in that you're trying to just stay one step ahead of the defense, which is hard to do because there's some really good defensive coaches out there. So you'll make an adjustment to how you've run a play over the years, and then they'll make an adjustment to take that away, and you're moving on to the next scheme. So it's just a constant battle to try to stay ahead of them.
Updates on the injuries for Winston Reed and DeAndre Carter, and whether like they kind of factor into potentially returning?
I don't have an update, no. Good. Okay, thanks, guys.